Welcome to WTF Stories and Advice. I'm Caroline Cranshaw,
And I'm Daryl Gove.
and we are professional advice givers. We like to tell people what they should do, and they actually pay us money to do that. So you get that privilege for free. We had an interesting experience. We both belong to a professional association, and they recently came and told us our profiles were terrible and needed to be revised. And obviously, they had AI do it, and it was a very old one that I had that was part of my profile because I just hadn't updated it with this association. But I said a professional know-it-all, and it went on about how that was really arrogant and would lose rapport with people, and people don't like to hear that. So interesting.
Well, some people, like, there's different kinds of advice that people want, right? People want to be listened to, of course, and that's part of our job always. But some people get frustrated when they go to counselor after counselor, therapy after therapy, and they just get told, what do you think and what are you going to do? Some people need someone that's had that experience and overcome it to go, what might work? And just give you a tip.
Absolutely. I'm constantly telling people what they should do. However, I do always try to have it come from them, and I do a lot of prompting. And then if they're stuck, I'll give them several suggestions, right? And never with any expectations that that's what they should do. But if I know for myself of going to a lot of therapy and they'd just be like, interesting. Oh, how does that make you feel? And I'd be like, I don't fucking know. You tell me. Like, I know why I'm fucked up. Just tell me how to fix it. Yeah, and they'd be like, once I put my 3 children through university and bought a new car, we might come to a resolution a few years from now. And not that they would say that, but that's what they were thinking. I know it. Yeah, and I'd get very frustrated. And that's why I like hypnotherapy because, and that's what we are. We're hypnotherapists. Did I mention that before? I don't know.
No, I don't know if you did hear, but I got to tell you, Caroline, about this amazing hypnotherapy that I just learned.
Mm.
So at that conference, there was a surgeon from Dunedin and he trained with the army and he was doing this technique that he uses in the hospital for people that are in a lot of pain. So anyway, yesterday my mum broke her ankle in 3 places and dislocated it. And so I got on the speakerphone and just took her through this hypnosis and it took about 3 minutes. And in that time, her pain level went all the way down to 4 out of 10. And it's remained with her only needing twice to take like minor anti-inflammatories, nothing bigger since then.
That's
Now,
impressive.
pretty impressive. And so today I was like, I'm going to use this technique again with a client because they'd been doing this habit that happens when they're uncomfortable. So I thought I'm going to use this again. Now, after we finish this quick hypnosis where it involves scrunching your hands up and involves imagining energy and so on, I went like this with my hand to indicate something, and this pen went flying across the room. And I was just like, did you just see that? She's just like, yeah. I just saw, I was like, I didn't knock that. She's like, no. And I'm like, that pen's magnetic. It's a magnetic pen. And I just went like that. And the pen just went,
Well, look
I
at
was
your
like,
hand when you're putting it up on the screen. Do you notice there's a glow around it?
no, I didn't. But yeah, it was like, it was insane. And yeah. So she was like, but I felt it too. Like when I did the technique, she was like, I could feel the power in my hands. She's like, I could literally feel it. And so, anyway, new technique for us to take our students through.
Oh, yeah. You got to teach that to me. It's a shame we can't teach that to you through the podcast, but you actually have to train in hypnotherapy to learn the woo woo magic like that.
Because it's really important to know when to use it. Because, for example, in the example of a broken ankle, you could just get rid of the pain and then keep on walking. In this circumstance, we're waiting for an ambulance and we knew that it was safe and she was instructed, do not move it. We'll just deal with the pain in the meantime. And so, yeah, it's very important. So the ethics of when to use hypnosis, how to use it is very, very important. But we take you through that. But however, yeah, we're excited to be with you because we have got a letter, do we?
We do. We do. So we have a letter. Let me just find it. If I can find it. I thought this was quite topical for the current economic, I don't know what you'd want to call it, temperature out there, or what would you call it?
Cost of living crisis, they call it.
Yes.
Instead of saying greedy people at the top rearranging the money.
Okay, so you ready? Shall we'll read the letter? I'll read the letter.
Born ready.
Okay. Dear Caroline and Daryl, I need help breaking a pattern that's destroying my marriage. My husband, 42, and I, 39, have been married 15 years. We have two kids, 11 and 13. He's self employed doing landscaping, and I work part time while managing the house, the kids, meals, appointments, basically all the invisible labor that keeps our family running. Here's the problem: we're not broke, but we're not building either. No retirement savings, no emergency fund. We can't afford family vacations. I look at our friends buying houses, planning for college, and I feel us falling further behind. When I bring this up, I ask him to invest in his business, take some courses, learn to bid on bigger jobs, hire help so he can scale up, or pick up a second income stream, something. But here's where it gets messy. The more I push, the less money he makes. It's like my pressure creates this mental block and he just shuts down, makes less effort. His income
Mm.
actually dropped last year. His response: if money's so important, get a full time job.
Yeah.
Here's what he doesn't see: I'm already working part time, plus running everything at home. If I go full time, who's managing the kids' appointments, school pickups, making sure there's dinner, keeping the house functional? And honestly, after paying for after school care and managing two careers, how would we come out ahead? Meanwhile, every evening and weekend, he's watching sports, hours of it. I'm watching him relax while I'm drowning, and I feel this rage building. He says he needs downtime, and I'm never satisfied. I don't know how to break this cycle. Every conversation about money turns into a fight about who works harder, who does more, and who's being unreasonable. And we're both resentful. We're both right in our own minds, and nothing changes. How do we get unstuck?
Mm. Has she considered swapping him? Just joking, don't take that as advice.
It's such a common issue. It's such a common issue, and I have been on both sides of that situation. I've been in a situation where I had a partner who wanted me to make more money, and I've been in a situation where I wanted a partner to make more money. What I found was the more someone pushed me to make more money, the less I made. The more I've ever pushed someone to make more money, the less they've made. So it's true. It is that block comes up, you don't feel good enough, you get fearful, and I think when you're coming from a place of fear, it doesn't tend to work out.
No, because it's second that you push somebody to kind of go against their own values or their own beliefs, then their amygdala is activated. They go into that fear state, and their ability to see the future, to predict the outcome of their actions, kind of slows down a bit. Their ability to think of new ideas slows down. So you're actively, as Caroline says, you're hindering the process by pushing, and Erickson would say relax and let it happen. It's the second that you stop. Every partner I ever had pushed me to stop smoking. They pushed and they pushed. And then when I stopped to start vaping, it was stop vaping and stop vaping. It was finally when I met a partner that didn't push. I knew how they felt, but they didn't push, that I was like, I'm just going to stop, because I knew I was doing it for me. And that was really important. And when it comes to value systems, because that's what it seems like. He's got a value around time, energy, and money, and you've got a different one. Instead of looking at the issue itself, what if you look at the underlying values of why, and like come at it from an angle of really trying to understand him? What is it about what he's doing that's so important to him? And then what's important about that? And just be curious. Don't go into the conversation to try and change his mind, because if you do that, you'll keep going in a loop. Imagine you're a therapist and you're sitting down with him and you just want to get to know him and you want to know what drives him, and then agree with him as much as you can. As soon as you agree with somebody, this opens up. And yeah, you're right that you should enjoy your job. You're right that you deserve downtime. You're right. And just keep reinforcing. And then I bet you without any other action, because we're not enabling, but we're validating how he currently feels, that improvements will happen. And if they don't, you could use that angle. So instead of we need more money, we need to save for the future, it's like if there was another way that you could take in a bit more whilst keeping all of your time intact and whilst at the same time enjoying your job just as much, would you be open to that? So you've explained your value system as well in that chat. Hopefully he understands. Say, hey, if you can meet my needs while meeting yours, would that be okay? And I bet you that would be an automatic yes. What do you think?
I just know you can't make people change. And I think that women fall in love with men's potential. They are notorious for it. And then they want men to be better and they push them harder, and men resent it. Men tend to not want women to change, and then women do change, and then men don't change. It's like this is why gay male couples tend to be the happiest and have the lowest divorce rates and separation rates out of all the couples. Apparently, lesbians have the highest divorce rate.
Yeah, but that's not surprising because look who they're dating.
Yeah, well, hey.
Just joking.
Gay men
I
love to
know.
give lesbians shit. My advice would be to back off, to apologize and say, "I'm sorry, I've been pushing you." And I would look at yourself, and all you can do is focus on yourself and your ability to make more money. Like, I was certainly in that situation and felt very frustrated. And then I did several things that really unblocked. I think I definitely always had blocks around money. I grew up with no money at all, and money doesn't grow on trees, and all these beliefs that you have to work your ass off to make money. And so my advice would be to really look at yourself and do whatever you can to clear the blocks within you and completely ease off him. But it doesn't sound like the division of labor is fair in the relationship to me. I don't think that your job doesn't just end once you like at 5 o'clock. Like a lot of men go, oh, well, I work. And so then, but women are working until 10 o'clock at night, and that's not fair. So I would look at that of like, okay, I'm drowning, I'm a bit stressed. I'll focus on making more money myself, but I need you to step up and help more with the household chores and kids and get him to help in that way. And yeah, good luck with that. S-
Well, as they say, you're the parent, make them.
Yeah.
Make them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a whole nother conversation. But why don't we give tips on how to get unblocked with money? And there's certain things that I do that aren't about hustling for more clients, that are more mindsets and some, I guess, rituals in a way that I do monthly. There's several things I do monthly. There's
Read.
visualization techniques I do around money. And whenever I get stressed about money and I worry about money, my money flow just dries up. Right? Everything gets quieter. I make less and less money. The less I worry about money, the more I just have the expectation that it's flowing in. The key is you've got to act on the inspiration to make more money. That's where a lot of people go wrong. What do you think about that? Should we give some tips?
Yeah, I think just to back up what Caroline said, look, yes, you can work on the things we talked about before, but at the end of the day, it's your energy that you're putting out, and people mirror and they match energies. So if you come from an energy of lack, perhaps you're creating that in the marriage and the family. And if you start to relax and just imagine money's flowing in and just let it happen, the universe could use your husband as a conduit for that. They could use his connections to give him good jobs, to give him promotions, to give him high paying clients. Or maybe it'll come from you with a chance to do different work where you're going to say to your partner, hey, I've got this opportunity and I want to take it. If can you step up so I can go and do it? Can you do more at home? Or can we get the kids doing more, or hire a cleaner once a fortnight so you can go out and do something? So yeah, I think if you're open to it, let's unlock money for you. And if it works and you enjoy it, you can take your husband through these techniques as well. And they're fun anyway. Like, I got a couple that I use with clients, but I've also got a couple that I use with friends, and because I wouldn't use them with clients, so I might take you through those ones. What have you got?
The main ones that I do over and over is I do new moon wishes.
Hmm.
I love new moon wishes. That is something I've done every month without fail. Yeah, if I do miss it, I am devastated. And it's really just a goal setting exercise where every month on the new moon, which is like the period of growth and transformation and change, like full moon is more letting things go and releasing, but the new moon is more pulling energy, more growth energy. And so within 8 hours of the new moon, if I can, but you can do it up to 48 hours after the new moon. Do not do it before the new moon. Like people will do it, oh, I'll just do it a few hours before. Nope. It's got to be after the new moon. And it's very easy to look that up. Yeah.
Thanks, Caroline, because as you know, I'm very suggestible. And Caroline said that to me in the last new moon. And my subconscious listened, and I couldn't go to sleep until like 2 in the morning until after the new moon. And I was like, I sleep to it in the morning, Daryl. And it's like, no, have to wait till after the new moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
So what you do with that is you can write down 10 things that you want to happen. The way I was taught to do it was I wish I was easily making 10 grand a month or whatever amount of money you want to be making. I've revised that now. So what I do is I write as if it's present tense and I say I am so happy and grateful that all blocks to manifesting money and clients and multiple streams of income have been lifted from me. I always start with the blocks and the flow. I'm so happy and grateful that my goal weight, that I'm this, but put in really specific income goals. So happy and grateful that I've found meaning and purpose, a happy way that I am making at least this amount of money every week or every month. So you can do it for whatever you want to manifest. So happy and grateful. I have a new car that I love. I'm so happy and grateful that we own our own property in a neighborhood that's great, that everyone's happy with. It's just putting down what you want. And it's really interesting because you start to really see where some of your blocks are. Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I wouldn't be able to have a new car anytime soon. But then you're limiting, right? But you've got to write it down, pen to paper, and do it a physical thing. You can't just do it in your head. Don't type it on your phone. I want you to write it down. But you can do up to 10 and whichever area of your life you want to improve. But I always put money goals in and I'm going to attract this many students and this many clients and I want to sell this amount of digital products. It doesn't always work. I find sometimes there's months where it doesn't. I find when it really seems to manifest is like either 2 to 6 months later is when it seems to show up. But the first time I did that, I found like within 6 months, everything on it had come true. And it was like when I wrote it, when I first did it, I was like, none of this is going to happen. There's no way. So I think it's putting your order out into the universe, getting really clear about what you want, and it's asking for blocks and resistance to be lifted from you as well.
It's brilliant. Fantastic. So what they've got to do is they've got to look up when the next new moon is, put it in your calendar. And then, as Caroline says, after the new moon, within 8 hours, write it down 10 things. Thank you for this. And then just relax and wait for it to come.
Yes. Yeah. But take action on the inspiration. Like I know for me, when I first started doing that, I remember I wrote down I wanted to attract a bunch of clients. And I had like no clients. I was just starting out. But then I was listening to the radio and some woman was talking about how she wanted to lose weight with hypnotherapy. And so I very quickly wrote a page on weight loss and hypnotherapy. And then I contacted her and I volunteered to give her free sessions. And then she talked about me on the radio for a month and I was booked out like 6 months in advance. So I could have listened to that and gone, oh, that's nice, but I can't do that because I'm just starting out and I don't have a page on that and make a bunch of excuses. So you've got to take action. That is the key. The universe likes speed. That's where people go wrong is they want to manifest these things, but then they don't do what they need to do to make it happen.
Yeah, they don't take advantage of the opportunities or they don't feel good enough or it's not the right time. And so, yeah, do you really want it? Take
Mhm.
action when it's time. I got something that can help you. I got a few. Have you heard about the fart of wealth?
The fart of wealth.
Well, there's lots of different kind of farts, and my favorite one is the one that you put in a jar and you give it as a gift to someone, and when they open it up, they get a surprise.
You can make a lot of money doing that, I hear.
Yeah, people sell that. People sell that. My gosh. Yeah, there's some girl on TikTok or something like that that does it. So this is called an anchor, right? So in hypnosis, neurons that fire together wire together. If you do two things together, it creates an association. So the fart of wealth is just a reframe that every time you fart, it's a money stench. It's the stink of money coming your way, and money is being attracted. So if you're eating your greens and you fart a bit more green is coming towards you, more money. So it's a little thing you just say in your head. You go, that's the fart of wealth. That's the fart of wealth. Or my friend used to always make a joke out of it by going, I was just scared. I was just scared. And so from then on, we'd always go, oh, have you just been scared to whoever was around? You know, you can make something fun of it. But because everybody farts, right? Some more than others and some worse than others. But the worse that stink is for you, the more money's coming your way so you can buy some vegetables and clear yourself out.
Okay, that's not a tip I saw coming. Wow.
It's not one that I give to clients because it's a bit on the news.
Oh, you got a money block? Yeah. Well, I hear people talk about if people are really uptight, they need something put up their ass, right? They need a good old ass fashioned ass fucking, right?
It's just about creating mental reminders for affirmations. People like they do an affirmation for 3 days, they don't get what they are attracting, and they give up. The far wealth, it could be anything like that. It could be, I don't know, the phone ringing of wealth. Every time your phone rings, it means it's happening. Or
A green
every
light.
time you get a text,
See a green light.
every time you see a green light, it means money's coming your way. It's just about associating something that happens sporadically in a way that you'll remember. And how the brain works is the more ridiculous it is, the more you'll remember. Like you might forget when you see a bird, that's money coming. You might forget that. But if you say to yourself, fart of wealth every time you fart, then it's so ridiculous. Your brain will remember it and it will continue that attraction. So give it a try. See, let me know if it works for you.
Okay. Well, my next tip is to do the cinnamon ritual, which smells a lot better than Daryl's tip. And this one, whenever I do this, I notice that like the next like week or two, I sell way more digital product. I book more clients. I find it really fascinating. And so the way I do the cinnamon ritual is you get a bit of salt. So I really, of course, I have to change it and make it fucking crazy. The basic cinnamon ritual is every month on the first of the month, you stand at your front door and now if you, let's say you share an apartment or a flat or a house with a bunch of people and you don't necessarily want to do it at the front door, you can do it into your bedroom door. But you stand at your front door and you just put some cinnamon in your left hand and you blow it into the house. Don't sweep it up or vacuum it for the next 24 hours. And there's lots of things you can say. It's like, I'm blowing in wealth and abundance. Yeah, there's a million different things you can say. Because I just randomly think something up at the time. How I do it now, so I initially did that and that seemed to help. But now what I do is I take a bit of salt and I put that in my left hand and I blow that in the house and it's clearing any blocks. It's clearing any negative energy that's holding me back from wealth and abundance. And then I get a bay leaf and I write on it what I want to manifest. So I might like take 3 bay leaves. I take a bay leaf and I take a coin and then I sprinkle cinnamon on top of that and I blow that into the front door. And then what I do is I take the bay leaf and the coin and I put it like under my front doormat. I might do that for 24 hours. And I just think wealth and abundance is coming into the house. And then I get the bay leaf out. This sounds crazy when I say it out loud. I take the bay leaf and I put it in my wallet. I pick one of the things that like is the most what I want to manifest that month. And I put that one in my wallet. And then I take the coin and the other bay leaves and I just kind of bury them in the dirt outside of my front door. And I sound like a cuckoo person, but yeah, I do pretty well for myself.
You don't sound like a cuckoo person, you sound like a witch.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you know,
Good witch.
a good witch. Yeah. I think that's the thing. You always use your witchery powers for good, right? Because whatever you put out there comes back.
Oh, there might be times we need to say that to students when we're like, now this technique, it's really powerful. And although you can't control another person, if people trust you, you can influence them. So it's like, if you're going to use this technique, be good. Only use your powers for good. And no, it's a bit witchy, but it's a bit also pagan as well. Like in olden times, this is what we would do. You know, we'd be connected to the earth, we'd be connected, and there's stuff behind what you're doing as well, right? So cinnamon also stops ants coming in, right? If you put a line of cinnamon. And another thing, name for an ant is an automatic negative thought. So it could also be symbolic of stopping your automatic negative thoughts. Bay leaves, in herbal medicine, we put a bay leaf in the baggies of whatever herbs it is, the baggies. So you got a jar of herbs or you got something that you don't want to have weevils or go off, you put a bay leaf in it and the bay leaf stops it getting eaten by the other insects.
Oh,
So it's
interesting.
very, yeah, it's raw, it's protective. And so when you're cooking, obviously, it adds this like real rich depth to a flavor that it just, if it's not there, it's not quite right. So it
Yeah.
makes sense symbolically that you're got the money, you've got the gold that you're putting in, the cinnamon's kind of gold, and that it's also stopping the ants, and then you're stopping the bugs in the plan. So it makes a lot of sense because your subconscious understands symbols and it looks for whatever you're going. So yes, maybe there's a spiritual element to it, but I think there's also a logical element where your subconscious is knowing what your intention is. It's putting it out there and it's looking for the effect of it. And you're reminding yourself constantly, it's like the farting. You're not going to forget if you've got that bay leaf every time you open your wallet,
Yeah.
you know, or you've got the coin under your doormat. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you move the coin after 24 hours. The other thing, the thing I forgot to mention is once you've done that, what you want to do is close your eyes and imagine whatever it is you're wanting coming in, right? And picturing exactly what you want and really feeling how you're going to feel. And it's putting that message into the subconscious mind, which I think is such an important aspect of it. Because if it's not safe for you to make a lot of money, or people aren't gonna like you, or you're gonna be a target, like whatever beliefs you have around money, or that you won't have any time with your kids, like there's all these blocking beliefs. I find there's a really common blocking belief for people is that people aren't gonna like them, or their family's not gonna like them if they have money. There's that the only way a rich man can enter heaven is through the eye of a needle, or but there's a lot of discourse around money and how it's evil or it's selfish to have money. I think that's just it's so important. You gotta put it into the subconscious.
Yeah, that's certainly a block that I had about thinking money was bad. I used to work in the bank and I used to actually get sick when I was handling too much cash. We could do hundreds of these notes or thousands of these notes through these counting machines and it would kick up a stir and it just physically was just so dirty. And it just really reinforced the belief that money is dirty. And then the richer my clients at the bank, the ruder they were, to be fair. Like in general, they tended to be probably they were time poor and they were busy. So they tended to demand more, expect more, less polite. And and so I got these negative beliefs about it. And it was Caroline that kind of shifted that for me. She's like, but there are really nice rich people too. You just worked in a suburb maybe and you just encountered some bad. And so there's two things that I did to clear that. One of them I used with Dr. Rebecca, and I've got her permission to use her as a testimonial. And within, I think, a few days, she booked a $5,000 gig just right after it. And that was to get a wad of money. So get out some cash from the ATM when you've got some, and you just put it there and you just sit and you just look at it and you just ask, how do I feel? It's like exposure therapy. You sit and you look at it and you ask yourself how you feel and you be honest and you let those yucky feelings come up and you sit there until you're comfortable with it. You just sit there and you say, how would I like to feel about that? How do I need to feel about that money if I'm going to attract it into my life? Because you don't attract what you don't want. It's much easier to attract it if you really want it. With Caroline, when you did it with me, I still had blocks even though I did that work personally. And so my mind had just, once I imagined sharing it with my family and sharing it with the world, suddenly like it opened something and I felt, yeah, I can bring in that flow. I can bring in that flow so that I can give it out. So you don't need to change who you are. You don't need to have less time for your kids. You can use it. It can be conditional upon it giving you more time with your kids or
Mhm.
upon it allowing you to treat your kids to the things that they need. So you can be specific. I want money to help me take my kids on 2 holidays per year, have great quality time because they're going to be leaving home in a few years. They're going to be grown up, going to uni, and having lots of money is going to be really helpful to say, hey, shall we all go to Paris? Shall we all, I don't know where you live, but shall we all go to this city or that? Shall we take a week away and I'm going to treat you? Think of it as a actually giving you the things they want that you want instead of taking it away.
Yeah, yeah. The other one I really recommend is doing what they call the revision technique, and that it's Neville Goddard technique, who is this like spiritual teacher from a very long time ago. And he would recommend, like, every night before you go to bed, imagine your day, but rewrite it exactly how you want it to go. So imagine, making more money. Imagine having exactly what you want, booking holidays, having money for the kids' uni funds, or whatever it is that you're wanting, or money in your savings account, and how good that's going to feel. And just keep revising and picturing what you want, which is priming and programming your subconscious. Now, if you're not visual, like, because some people are not visual, it's hard for them to visualize. Imagine you can hear what it sounds like, what it would feel like for you. I think it's just engaging those senses, but communicating with the subconscious mind of this being exactly what you want. I find listening to hypnotherapy is really helpful when it comes to wealth. The other little trick I have found to be hugely powerful is imagining some of your energy coming off of you, like doing a meditation, a visualization, closing your eyes and imagining this ball of energy kind of coming out of you. It may take a shape or a form, and send it out to manifest what you want. Send it out to, dare you going into hypnosis? Yeah, sending it out there. Yeah, decide how you're going to thank or give gratitude to this energy, but sending it out there, and it's going to attract more business, more money, more opportunities, whatever it is. I believe that is hugely powerful. I've manifested some crazy things by doing that. But then I've done the new moon wishes and that visualization and the revision for years. But I think, yeah, that one is incredibly powerful. And then you don't really have to worry about how it's going to happen. But again, take action. Can't
Take action when you get the signs. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember working with a client who needed to manifest 50 grand very quickly. And she was in quite a desperate situation. And we visualized it happening. We visualized her getting the money. And then when she came back, she's like, oh, it didn't work. And I'm like, oh, are you all right? And she's like, oh, no, my mom gave it to me. I was like, wait a minute. Did you get 50 grand? She's like, yeah, but I got it from my mother, so that doesn't count. I'm like, but didn't you say you had already asked your mother and she had said no? And so that was like a dead end for you. And she's like, yeah, but then she felt bad for me. She just called me out of the blue and decided that she was going to give it to me. And I was like, and that's after we did the hypnosis. But it was just funny to me how she had dismissed it working, even though it had come true. So don't care where it comes from, you know what I mean? Unless it's something that goes against your values or morals, that's a little bit different. But I think it's just no matter, yeah, don't have an attachment of how it's going to show up or how it's going to appear. It's just being grateful and knowing that it is that or something better, right? Because you don't want to limit it either.
Yeah, I like that, or something better, giving the universe choices to what it's going to bring to you. Yeah, no, I like that. It's funny, it's very common with clients. It's one of the first lessons that I teach is about when you're working with someone, it's so natural to be well. It's so natural to have your problems solved. When you're getting sick, you know you're getting sick and you're like, oh, don't make me sick. I don't want to be sick. But then all of a sudden one day you're better. Let's assume you recover, right? It's almost like getting better sneaks up on you. Like suddenly you're just better one day. And it's because it's so natural. And so when people come with problems, the typical one when people used to smoke, they don't now very much. It's more vaping, but they used to smoke and they would stop and they might leave and they go, oh, that didn't work. And then in the next session, a week later, what happened? Oh, I didn't really work. So I just stopped. You know, so I just stopped smoking. And so just letting people know, again, like you said, this reinforcing actually, it did work. You did it. Like either way, you did it. Like you did it with hypnosis or you just stopped. But the thing is, when people phone me, I'm like, just because you phone me, change is going to happen because you've set that intention. You've said, if you're listening to this and you're going through these rituals, you've already set the intention. You're telling the universe, bring it to me. And now you're just like working with the speed and the shape of it. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. There's one thing I used to unblock now. I like a little bit of parts work. But when I do parts, I do it quite conversational, quite light, not in deep hypnosis, so not like the deep stuff. And here's the thing, like we love the inner child, and the inner child's this like amazing, beautiful thing that needs to be nurtured and looked after and healed. But the inner child shouldn't be in charge of your finances. It shouldn't.
Absolutely.
And so if you've got like an inner child who grew up in poverty or with not very much money or grew up being hungry from time to time or didn't get nice things or new things, then A, you can try do some healing work around that, give them love and it's okay, look at me now. But if after that, if that child still plays up, how does an adult speak to a child? Now, there's various ways of parenting. This is not me telling you how to parent. But How I would speak to that little child is like, right, hey, you, come on, you greedy little bitch. Let's go get paid. Come on, you little dick. Come on, come on. Nah, 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 nah. Come on, shut up. Stop being poor. You don't have to be poor anymore. No, no, oh, poor me, I'm poor. Shut up. Come on, we're going
Got
to go and
all
get
the
some money.
toys you can have. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah, let's go and get
the
some money. You can have all the toys you want. And just kind of lay down the law. No, you're not in charge of my money now. You're not in charge of my money. No, you're in charge of toys and playing. Help me play. Help me have fun in life. Help me to open up and to take down my walls from time to time. But don't help me with my money. Let the adults in the room do that. And so I'm not saying you have to swear at your inner child, but that's how I would talk to mine because I like that kind of dialogue with myself. I use it as an adult, say, come on, lift that fucking weight at the gym or whatever, or get the fuck to work, get the fuck outside and walk in. Use whatever motivates your inner child, but be authoritative. Like, tell it what to do.
Yeah. Or just don't let it help with money. Say, right, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And the part of you that is motivated to make a lot of money and have that freedom, because that's what money does, right? Money is freedom. Money is like energy, right? It's thinking there's not enough money in the world is like thinking there's not enough air. There's not enough oxygen. It is money is everywhere. And I think it's believing that it flows to you. A good exercise, I'll do this with clients, is finish a sentence for me. Money is, and they'll go, evil. Money is, and it's like, okay, well, let's examine where that comes from. What would be a better belief? Money is freedom. Money is easy. Money flows. It's changing those subconscious beliefs.
Money is
Money,
delicious. Think of all the great dinners you can buy or the nice ingredients you can fill your fridge with.
yeah, money is a way you can support your family and your friends and help people and do good in the world.
Money is
No,
sexy.
yeah, yep.
I just finished watching a thing on TikTok earlier on my little break, and it was why rich people are more attractive.
Yeah.
And it's like, so they are more attractive, and the reasons that are varied, and they go with it's something like this. For example, access to more sleep, better food, and better orthodontics is one. But
Mhm.
also, rich people tend to have more attractive daughters, and somehow, and
Somehow. You don't know how that happens?
men who are wealthy tend to attract more attractive women who want security as well as looks. They're balancing the two, or maybe they want money as well as looks. So what happens is, because 35 to 40% of money is passed down instead of earned, what you're doing is, unless you're the royal family, you're actually breeding looks into your family. So each generation, the men are bringing beautiful women in, and they're getting prettier and prettier from these ones.
Well, I think the royal family as well. You gotta admit Diana and Kate are pretty good looking women.
Yeah, but they were married in. They're not there by blood. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, true.
So they're going to get prettier as they go by. And no offense, William and Philip and who's dead and Charles, but you do have a bit of that look of
Breeding?
you've all got the same grandmother as all your cousins, you know? And
I can't believe how many of the like, when I saw some list of the royal family, and it was, like, from every country, and they all were related to Queen Victoria. Like, every single fucking one. I'm just like, "Ooh,
yeah,
don't
every
fuck your
single one.
don't fuck your family." I think that is a very basic rule, but a lot of people don't get it. Anyways.
There's having money, and then there's holding on to money in that way and to power in that way. And we'll leave that for those type of people. And I have another thing you can do, which is if you've got a brain like mine that's really rebellious, right? So, and yours, I know yours is the same, Caroline. Like you've got, if someone tells you to do something, you're like, no. And so if you've got a brain like that, you could use like a more Ericksonian hypnosis approach. Erickson was like a really awesome hypnotherapist, and he just had his really unique style. And he was very permissive, so he allowed for change to happen instead of kind of forcing it. And he might say something like, wouldn't it be weird if money just showed up? Wouldn't it be weird if money just appeared? What you could do is you could just write that down on post-its and just put it in a few places in your house or in your room. Wouldn't it be weird if money just appeared? Wouldn't it be weird if money just showed up? And it's kind of opening up the opportunity for the universe to deliver without activating any nervous system because you're not commanding it, demanding it. You're not dealing with belief systems or values. You're just considering if it would be weird or not. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of writing these type of things and just kind of putting them up until you start ignoring them because you've kind of done it to death, and then you can swap it out.
Yeah, money is my friend. Money flows to me easily. Like putting several things, but also saying those things to you and just trusting that it will come and not having an attachment to where it comes from. Okay, so got any recommendations, Daryl? I started watching, I haven't finished it yet, but the
Oh, the Eternaut,
Eternaut, so good.
isn't it?
So good. On Netflix. It's Argentinian, but it's also dubbed in English, so you don't have to watch it in Spanish. And amazing where the snow starts. I haven't gotten to any aliens. Well, I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, the snow, and it's like anyone who goes out in the snow, they die. And it's just this, it's good. I really am enjoying it. And I almost like don't want to watch it too fast. Want
Favorite because it's
Yeah, I am loving that. The other thing I'm loving at the moment is Lily Allen's new album,
I've
West
heard
End
so
Girl.
much good things about it.
I'm obsessed. This is a masterclass on how to shade your ex-husband. And
Yeah. Beside Taylor Swift.
oh, it is so good. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know if you're up on the play, but Lily Allen was married to David Harbour, who's from Stranger
Stranger Things.
Things. And I've always thought he was seriously punching by getting her personally. Like he is doing very well for himself.
Probably about Big
Um,
Willie.
he probably does. I can't see any other redeeming quality about that man. But anyways, so after they got married, he asked to have an open marriage. And she was upset about it, but she didn't want to lose him. She was doing a play in the UK and they were based in New York. And so she agreed. And then it turned out he was just fucking everyone and everything. And obviously is a sex addict. If you do listen to it, you got to listen to it sequentially because it tells a story and it is so good. I'm just obsessed. I think she's a genius. And there's just something so vulnerable and honest and raw about it that, yeah, have a listen. It's fantastic.
It's a very rare thing these days for an album to climb the charts. Like normally they enter at the highest it's going to be and then it goes down. But this album has climbed. So it's actually started and moved up because people are talking about it and they're like, oh my God, this is good. And they're sharing how they feel. But if you're listening to this in the USA, you might not know who she is because she only had one hit, I think, in the USA. So she's huge in New Zealand, Australia, and Britain, and Europe and Asia as well. But in the USA, she just had one hit. And that was, I mean, her last hit in the UK was 10 years ago, I think. And it was before that she had one in the USA. So Lily Allen, look her up. She's got amazing, amazing songs like that song, Fuck You, about homophobia. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's Not Right, But It's Okay is another song that I don't know what it's called, but okay, I'm gonna listen to it in order next time. Next time I'm doing a long drive because you need time, right?
Yeah, and it takes a little while to like our first listen. I was like, I don't know, but I thought I was intrigued by the lyrics and the story. And I think it's so rare to have that raw vulnerability and honesty. And she looks at herself in a really objective way, or she's not just bagging him the whole time. But I would hate to be his PR person. She releases it right before the Stranger Things premiere. Final premiere. And I'm just like, you go, bitch. For every person who's ever been cheated on or lied to in a relationship, it is cathartic. And I think she has not just done it for herself, but she's done it for all of us. And as everyone, unless if you haven't experienced that, then good for you, but you might one day. But I think it is just the pain of being hurt, of being cheated on, of being lied to is it's just yeah, like I'm in a amazing, loyal relationship now, but I just so can relate to it, and I think it's fantastic, so that's my recommendation.
I love it. I love it. Books wise, I'm reading this book, How Emotions Are Made, The Science of Emotions. It presents a new theory, and I had to say it's completely changed how I think about emotion. It's completely changed how I feel about feelings. It's completely changed how I do my therapy, how I do my work, because yeah, it's so fascinating. As part of the advanced hypnosis class that I do online, I did a whole class on emotions and health because when you understand emotions from the point of view in the book, you can then make direct connections as to how it affects health. And we all kind of know emotions affect health, and there's all these theories as to how. for me, it becomes clear when you read this book how emotions are made. So definitely give it a listen. I'm listening to it, but I want to savor it. So I'm like doing a chapter and then sitting on it for like a month, and then doing another chapter and just digesting it. And it's so fascinating. And I tell you, if you know anybody that struggles to control their emotions or to get a handle on them, or if you're like that person, when you understand what's actually happening in your mind body by listening to this book, it's going to help you control. And the music I'm listening to, okay,
Yeah.
don't laugh, but right now, obviously, Sugar Babe Shook, I'm loving, but Nicki Minaj, Bees in the Trap, crossed with, what's it crossed with that? Wake up in the morning and a step outside, four non
What's going on?
What's
Yeah.
going on? So it's not on Spotify, it's on YouTube. Bees in the Trap X What's Going On. Wow. And then after that, of course, I found Enya. Do you know Enya?
Of course.
Yeah. Enya mixed with, it's Enya Only Time crossed with Teach Me How to Dougie. It's so good. So you've got these like
Sense.
emotional songs that are designed to stir your heart mixed with these like rap beats, and it's just, oh man, it just cleaning vacuuming to that is just making my day. So check out those mixes. So that's me for recommendations. TV, and we're watching Succession. I know it's old, so everybody's probably watched it by now, and it's got a solid 6.5 from me out of 10, but I feel like it's going to get better as it goes.
I
So
just never can get into that one. I don't know what it is. I know it's won so many awards and so many people love it. I think is it based on the Murdochs? It's
I think
based
so,
on.
yeah. And there's a hint of Trump in there because he's Scottish, like Trump, and he's got like a pretty daughter.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It just does it from time to time. I don't know. I
What?
don't-
All these
don't-
balloons it just does it from time to time. Is there
Yeah, I don't know. Every few weeks, balloons will just appear.
say Scottish?
Scottish, and he's got a pretty daughter. I don't know. But yeah, no, do you know, I have this theory about books and TV shows,
Yeah.
and it's if you have boring characters, the show or the book will be boring.
Yeah.
So just never have boring characters. And some people think it's funny to have boring characters or it's amusing, but I think in Succession, some of the characters are a little bit boring, and they're just doer. And I think that it's just not for that reason. It couldn't be as fun. But I just love it's like House of Cards, like this person coming in with, well, we're going to do this, and you'll never get out of this, and then they get played, and then they get played, and they get double cross played, and it's quite fun if you like that kind of thing. But anyway, I think it's time for us to go and do our money farts. And next, remind me another time to tell you about the hypnotic money orgasm and about flushing this scarcity demon down the toilet. But I think we've used up all our time for today.
Scarcity demon down the toilet. Could you shit it out?
Are you flush it out?
Gonna shit out all my money blocks. Yeah. If you're constipated, maybe that's not allowing the flow. Oh, fucking hell. That's funny.
That's what Louis
Okay.
Hay says.
So if you enjoy this podcast, give us a review, share it with your friends. And if you have a question or a story you want to tell us, write to us at WTF Stories and Advice. And if you are interested in hypnotherapy and you want to be Jedi mind masters like us, you should train with us at the Integrative Hypnotherapy Institute.
We do online, we do live classes, and we have a whole bunch of pre-recorded material. So it'll keep going for thousands of hours. But however, come back and see us in the next time on the podcast and listen to the old ones. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.